Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new Elder Scrolls Online Guide video with me, Sherman. Today guys, I've been asked several times in the last few months if I could update my gold farming guide with the release of the new chapter and the Markarth DLC, if I could go over those regions on talking about the best places to farm for gold. And what I mean by farm for gold, now there's several different ways you can farm for gold. You can farm items and sell them on the guild trader. That's a good way, but it honestly only works out good if your guild trader is in a major trafficked city. So like any of the major chapter cities, any of the major cities of the base game. So that means like Eldenroot, here I'll show you. So if you have any of the like major areas of the game, like I wouldn't even say major cities such as Volkogard, but Volkogard is a place that does get a lot of merchant trade. The Skywatch is another one for some reason. But what I mean by major cities is the major cities such as Eldenroot and the Wayrest, and also the other city over here, the Mournhold. These are the major trade hubs in the game. If you have a guild trader in those locations, that's where you're going to make the most gold and the fastest, because guild traders are there, or not guild traders, the daily dungeons are there, and people do a lot of PvP from these locations. And also in the DLC, or the chapter places, such as Vardenfell, Vivec City. Then in elsewhere, northern elsewhere, there is Rimmen. It's a good place for guild traders. In Somerset, there's also the city of Alinor. And then, of course, with the latest release of Western Skyrim, we have the city here of Solitude. A great place for guild trade and buying and selling of stuff. Now, because we just had the Markarth DLC come out, Markarth also has a lot of guild trade that goes on here because a lot of players are playing in this location. So these are places that you can sell items to a guild, like on your guild trader, and make money pretty decently, pretty fast. One of the things that I do say to people when it comes to selling on the guild trader, always undercut your opponents. Don't try to set it at the same price everyone else is. Always set it at a lower price. Usually I go 2,000 or 3,000, sometimes more, less, unless the item's like 1,000 gold or something, that I put it at, like 200 or 300 less, or even 500 less, just to sell it fast. Now, how do I personally make gold fast? I use what's called a gold farming technique. Now, being a person who spends a lot of time playing these games, trying to figure out the best way to make money and such, the thing that I've learned about playing ESO is there's multiple ways you can make fast gold. And what I mean by fast gold is that means collecting items, selling them, and collecting gold and keeping it. So for me, I like to use public dungeons. These are probably the best places to farm. So the new public dungeon, Labyrinthina, is the better of the two public dungeons in the new chapter to farm. The other one is, I believe it's underground, if I remember right. No, it's not. So there's Labyrinthina, which is, like I said, to me it's the better public dungeon to farm. I could have swore the other one was underground. Maybe I haven't even done it. I don't know. But the public dungeons, the reason I say they're the better places to farm is because of the fact there is also gold coin drop. Now, Labyrinthina, the reason I say it's a good one is because it has living NPCs. These are human NPCs. Now, these will drop gold coins. Now, I'm going to go in here, I'm going to show you what I mean by that. And they drop variations of gold coins, or of various amounts. Now this one, oh yeah, this is the skeleton one. So this is A really good one. I'm not using my usual farming setup, but here you go. You can see, just from that small group, I just earned 233 gold. Which is, to some people, it's not a lot of gold. But the reality is, it adds up really, really fast. So when you're going through here and you're killing packs of skeletons, like, say, 20, 30, 40 packs of these at a time, you know, as you're playing through this public dungeon, you're going to make a lot of gold. So what I usually do is I set a path. In here, what I do is I actually go this route, and then that's the route I farm. Now, one of the things I will suggest, if you can get it, this helps with money making really, really a lot, is the Pocket Merchant. The Pocket Merchant allows you to summon a merchant anywhere you are in the world. You can go up to them and you can sell your items to them. And this is a great way to make fast gold. So the items that I sell is pretty much everything I get. So let's say I'm going through here and I'm doing, like I said, a full clear on the dungeon. And you see here I got 37 gold, but I got this Rubedite Dagger, which is worth 47, and then I got this rune, which isn't worth much. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you what I mean by it's not worth much. So the dagger, 47 gold. The runes, 9 gold. The faster you can accumulate items and things to sell, the faster you make gold. So the reason for this is this way you can actually maximize your gold profit or your gold earning by maximizing that. Now, any chests you find in the dungeon, also loot those, because those will give you items that you can not only sell, but it also gives you treasure maps, which you can go out and farm as well. And not saying that the treasure maps are a good source of gold, but it's just that little bit of extra it's going to give you. So treasure chests, and with that as well, if you have your CP and you have it all like maxed out, I don't remember what tree it is, I think it's the green tree here, Fortune Seeker, increases the amount of gold you find in treasure chests and safe boxes by 50%. So most treasure chests for an average player, a person under level 50, we'll say, they're not going to have this. But if you have this, then you can get that greater amount. I really need to fix my CP here, because I'm all over the place. I'm looking at it going, wow, you know, like, I'm wondering why this character has so many problems. And now I know it's because I have my CP all jacked up. I need to go through and fix that. But yeah, I mean, there is a lot of ways, again, you can make gold, and a lot of people use different methods. Everyone, again, has their own method of farming, but farming public dungeons, to me, is the fastest way to make coin. Now, any public dungeon in the game, just about every location has two. So if you talk about Vardenfell, a lot of people ask me, where in Vardenfell do you farm? I farm the Forgotten Wastes. I do not touch this as a farming place, because this doesn't drop as much gold in the public dungeon as this does, because this has humanoid beings in it. When it comes to, say, Somerset has also two public dungeons. It has the one up here, Carn Waste, and it has the one down here, Sunhold. Sunhold, hands down, the best farm in the game right now for gold, because there are so many human NPCs, and the place is just huge. So it gives you a really good, fast place to farm gold. And I love the fact that I also get a lot of sets that I can use for my own character purposes. And also there's a lot of set stuff that I can sell and things I can get also. You can also find the Sigic things in this public dungeon. So it's really good for a lot of different purposes. When it comes to Northern Elsewhere, and this is one I've had several people ask me about, is Orcrest or the Rim Necropolis better? Rim Necropolis. More humanoids, again, more coin to drop from the enemies, and you still get a lot of items. Now, what is the average that you can make in an hour farming? It's going to vary on each person based on the speed at which you do it and how you do it, okay? For the type of builds I would suggest is more bruiser type, heavy armor, DPS builds. This is going to give you a smooth pace throughout the dungeon. If you play like a DPS build, you're going to out DPS the trash respawn. And so it leaves you with, like, standing around a lot. With a bruiser build, it gives you a smooth flow of DPS through the dungeon to where by the time you complete your rotation in it, like for me, as I said, I will go around in a circle. I'll kill the troll, the skeleton there, you know. I will go in this exact circle, killing every skeleton pack I see, and picking up any treasure chests and such I find. And there's usually quite a few mobs throughout here, and there's one of the treasure chests that I talked about. I want to show you this, even though it's already been looted. Like, even this, like, why you wouldn't take it, I don't know. Like, this will make you money. At your merchant, you go up to them. Again, that's 80 gold, boom, done. So, the more items you have to make gold with, the better. So there's 71 gold. A lot of people will say 71 gold isn't a lot, but it is. Like I said, it is a lot when you take and you add it up. And you continuously add it up. Another thing I like to do is what I call boss farming in public dungeons. So I go to every location there's a boss in and kill them, and then I take the reward I get from the bosses, of course, and I sell them. So the bosses will always drop green, purple, blue items. So that's really good. And again, it's a fast way to make gold. Anything you can do to make gold fast is what it's all about. And a lot of people, again, will say things like, oh, well, this isn't a reliable way to make gold. It's the most reliable way you can make gold. You're always going to make anywhere between. And this is what I tell people. The new players who don't have CP and stuff to get those bonus gold things and the extra faster damage, you're going to average anywhere between 10 to 50,000 gold an hour. And I say 10 to 50,000 because it depends on the speed and the pace at which you play through the content. I would suggest when you do farm, use food, use potions. This way you get that a greater return of resources and such. Now, when I said the way I farm this, I actually farm it. I kill that boss right there. And then I'll go over here and I'll go down this path, and then I'll go back under here and kill this. Like, there's so many different paths that I use sometimes that I just go in sometimes and I just spend hours in these things, farming them to make coin. And that's because I do have a lot of spare time to do it. But it's my favorite pastime in these games. This is my end game. Is basically farming for gold and farming for items and different things like that, so I have access to it. Now, again, this is just one way you can make fast gold. Another way that I like to make fast gold is what I call chest farming. Now, every location in the game, doesn't matter, has treasure chests located throughout the zone. And these treasure chests are always in the same location. They're always going to have they're random rewards, but they're always going to be in the same location. So I'll go to places like Vocal Guard, And then I will just spend my time traveling around the map, and I will fight trash, I will do all that kind of stuff, but while in the process, I will be looking for treasure chests. Treasure chests are getting anywhere between 150 to 200 gold, depending if you have that CP thing. If you don't, you're going to be getting anywhere between 50 and 100 gold, depending. And then also looting safe boxes, and that way I can also earn Thieves Guild experience. So, in you're also going to get Ledgerman experience. The other places I like to use for chest farming is what I call a lot of us used to call the beginner starting areas. So places like Canarthy's Roost, and I'll show you. Like, I'm going to go to Canarthy's Roost. I'm going to open my map, and I use Harvest Maps, which is a program that shows you locations of materials and treasure chests. And this will just show you how much time I spend on Canarthy's Roost. This is my preferred area to farm for materials, for crafting, and then also for chest farming. Because I can spend an hour here and I can make 50,000 to 100,000 gold, depending on the amount of chests and items I find. So just to give you a clear example, this is my harvest maps, and you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's actually 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. And you're not seeing these. I have all this stuff memorized because I spend so much time chest farming in Canarthy's Roost. So chest farming is a really fast way to earn items, but the best way to earn items is in overland zones. So not in just those starting areas, but like also if you farm. I like to farm northern elsewhere, because I know where a lot of the chests are. And when I do this, the chest farm here, I also kill world bosses. So what I do is I just go in a big circle. Where you see a world boss, that's the direction, that's the path I follow. And then that's it. And I just keep following that same path. I keep going in a circle, and as I'm doing it, I'm getting chests. And those chests, I am looting and everything, and I'm killing the world bosses for the items to sell. Now, doing this farm actually takes me about 2 hours to do the whole thing. And that's because of fighting each boss individually and not knowing if I'm going to have other players there to help me or not. Now, if a world boss isn't up, I skip them, I move on. So there's times where, like, this could take me an hour, this could take me 2 hours, just depends on how many bosses. That's why I prefer doing public dungeons, is I can go in here and spend 2 hours and come out with 5 times the amount of gold I would get from doing what I'm showing you now. Now, another thing that you can do, and this is one that a lot of people like to do, is the Thieves Guild. Thieves Guild allows you to go into, anyone can do it, but it'll give you Thieves Guild experience and such. But it's basically going in and robbing cities or townships of everything, and then turn around and selling them to the traders there. Not traders, but to the Thieves Guild halls in those, like in the major cities. Almost everyone has a Outlaw's Refuge. Or 2 entrances, but they all lead to the same one. And there's a fence in there, and you can fence your items that are stolen. Merchants have these lock boxes behind them or near them that if you can get them, give really good reward. I also like to use holiday events as ways of making gold. Like when we have the Halloween event, really fast way to make gold is selling or getting the motive chapters and selling them. Now, there's a little trick to that one. You want to get the motive chapters from the holiday events, from the boxes, and what you do is you zone chat sell them. So that means you sell them in zone chat. You tell people, hey, these are the the motives I have, and you just, I think it's control and, or is it shift and click? I don't like opening my chat, so... Well, you can link it in chat, and then you just put a bunch of those in there, and you tell them, you know, selling these motives for X amount of gold. And there's been times where I've made even more gold doing that than I have doing a public dungeon farm. I've made anywhere between 200,000 to 300,000 doing that. And I also sell certain items too in zone chat. Like purple items I'll sell in zone chat sometimes. Even when I do a dungeon farm, a public dungeon farm, and I'll finish up, I'll sell everything but the purple items, and then I'll go in zone and sell the purple items. A lot of people like the purple jewelry, and so they'll buy that really fast. And then a lot of times you can also sell purple weapons, you know, purple armor, that kind of stuff. But most of the time I sell jewelry and weapons. Jewelry goes the fastest. But I can make anywhere between 50, you know, an extra 20 to 50,000 that way. There's a lot of different ways, again, that you can make gold. But the fastest and hands down the quickest way to make coin in this game, in my opinion, without having a guild trader, is farming public dungeons. Every zone has a public dungeon that is great for it. So, like, somebody, you know, could ask me, like, where in the Alderaan would you suggest? Because there's 2 public dungeons, or there's the public dungeon here. You know, what would you suggest this one as a good place to farm? Yes. Any public dungeon is a good place to farm, but the ones that have humans, and especially Imperials, are literally the best. And you're going to find those in the end zone locations. So, like, here in Rakul, or not Rakul, sorry, in the Reaper's March, you have the Vile Mains. It's a good one for farming fast gold. Stay on the upper floor, do not go into the underground. Stay in the cellar, don't go into the underground. If you're in the Rift, of course, you have the Lion's Den, again, one of the better ones. And then in the Daggerfall location, you have Bankorai, and they have this one. There is certain locations in here that I don't like to farm because it's mostly Dwemer stuff. But Dwemer stuff, they drop gears and things that if you get stacks of them, you can sell them and make tons of gold. Another thing for new players, if you don't have a subscription, you don't have a craft bag, sell the craftables. Sell everything you pick up. This is going to also make you fast coin. Because it adds up. A lot of this stuff, and again, it's about adding up how fast you can add up the gold that you earn. So the faster you earn items to sell, the faster, and if you don't have a merchant, you fill your bags, go back to a town or a nearby location where there is a merchant. Like for this one in Bankorai, just go here to Holland Stand. There is a few merchants here that you, if you've completed the quest here, you can sell to, and it's really fast. And then you go from the dungeon, you open your thing, you warp here, you sell, you ride back. Yeah, it adds a little bit more time to your stuff, but it's kind of the process of the game. Like, if you want to make gold, you have to be able to make gold fast in your own way. Now, a lot of people ask me about DLCs, like the smaller DLCs. What's the best places there to farm? DLCs don't have great places to farm all the time, but most of the time, there will be one of the delves that can be really good. So, like, this one has the Teeth of Sisyphus or the Tossifer Cavern. I like Tossifer Cavern, personally, for farming. It's really fast, it's really quick, it's got a nice layout for, like, a quick interaction through the zone to farm. So, yeah, you've got options. And it's just a matter of what options you want to use in making gold. But public dungeons still will always be my favorite place to make gold. And like I said, for the casual player or the new player or whatever, 10 to 50,000 gold an hour is pretty good. Now, for somebody who has the experience and the speed at which I do of doing these things, you can make anywhere between 50,000 and 100,000 gold an hour, and even sometimes even more. The most I've ever made in an hour was 300,000 gold, and that was because I was just super lucky. So, and that was in the Lion's Den over in the Rift. So, and again, I was super lucky. I got a lot of purple items to sell. And I didn't have a subscription at the time, so I was selling just pretty much everything I got. Like, it was going out of style. I still have my pocket merchant, so that's another reason why I can make faster gold than most people. And again, it really just depends on if you have the mentality to farm. So if you don't have that mentality, it makes it really hard. But that's pretty much it for this guide, guys. I know it was a little bit longer than my usual ones, but I really wanted to kind of get in depth on how you can do this and the ways you do it. So, like you said, everyone's going to have their own way of farming public dungeons, you know, their own path, that kind of thing. It's always good to find a public dungeon that's not swarmed by players, which is not easy sometimes. But that, to me, is the best way. The Knarthi chest run, the Bleak Rock chest farm over here, and the Stros Mackay chest farm, all these are great for farming, and even, not just there, but the Stone Tooth, or not Stone Tooth, the Betnith one is, or however you say this. This is also a great chest farm here because it's a smaller island, as you can see, and all the chests are literally along this route, and you can go through this area. There's a few chests in here, none in this area, but if you go around the city, there's a few chests you can find if you know where to look, and then you can go back into this routine, and you can just keep doing this loop, and you can make a decent amount of money. Now, I'm not going to say you're going to make an insane amount of money doing that, but a decent amount. Again, public dungeons, hands down the best. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button. If you guys want to see more videos from me or other guides from me, I do cover things like champion points. I cover things like builds and all that. Go ahead and subscribe. Also, when you do subscribe, I do suggest you hit that notification bell to be notified when I post new videos. This not only helps my channel grow, but it also helps you guys see when I post new videos. So it kind of a two-way street there. It helps us both out. And other than that, just want to thank you all for watching. Until next time, have a wonderful day, and this guy might see you in game. Bye.